All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about, I'm calling it reigniting your soul spark. You can call it whatever you want, Joy. It's your show.
I I totally love that because that's exactly what has been happening.
I'm so excited. So, Joy and I have actually worked together in like bits and bobs throughout the year, but originally I did a human design like business reading for you. I'm going to say it was like 6 years ago. Like six
It
years.
was 2020 when you gave me my first human design, and then I think it was 2021 or two when you gave me the business reading, and it's
Okay, so it wasn't,
absolutely changed my life.
I was like, it wasn't that long ago. But yes, so like 5 years ago, 5 years ago, we started working together and did human design. And how did those readings help you shift and like pivot your from where you were? Like you were feeling, from what I remember, you were feeling really like stuck and frustrated and like you were working in a job that really made you not happy and you were sick and you were just like over it. How did that information and support, because right, I read human design charts, but really I like am very intuitively led to help move out of this like transition, right? How did
Yes.
that help?
So it absolutely completely changed my life. So 2020, I was a year into my coaching business and realizing that it was the biggest personal development journey I was ever going to go on. Nobody tells entrepreneurs that when they start their business, but I think we should because
Right.
it's very true. And I was working in a very toxic job. I wasn't able to admit it at the time, but my boss had sexually assaulted and then was harassing me on a daily basis. Um, and so I actually got my first human design reading from you on my birthday, 2020. It was my birthday gift to myself. And
Yes, yes, yes,
then,
yes.
a month later, we hit, or not even like 3 weeks later, we hit the COVID and all the lockdowns. And so for the first time, I was able to be working from home and I wasn't having that daily harassment. And so it allowed me to begin to see me because I was exhausted. I was sick. I was burned out from the corporate. I was trying to build my coaching business, and everything that was coming my way just did not feel good. It did not feel right, but I didn't know what felt right and good either because of where I'd been. And so hearing that reading for the first time, I realized that I had been living and had been conditioned pretty much opposite of how I actually am designed. So I'm an emotional projector 4/6, if you know what all of that means. And I was living as a very misaligned, trying to be a sounding board manifesting generator.
Right, right, right.
It was not working at all. And so what it did is it for the first time I felt seen. I had been a personality test junkie just trying to figure parts of me out. But of course, all they could do is regurgitate the conditioning that I had experienced. It didn't actually help me know who I was. And so for the first time, I felt seen. And then working with you, I was able to then begin to put practices in place. I was able to begin to understand, okay, how does a projector even work? Like in this corporate world, in this capitalistic world, like, how does it work when you need to rest, when you're
Mhm.
trying to build a business? How does it work when you're listening to your emotions? Because I was taught to use logic and pro con lists and poll the audience because of the cult upbringing that I grew up in. And so it was a complete recalibration over the next couple of years as I really began to dive into who I am, how my energy works. And there's still parts that I'm figuring out, even though I now read human design charts for other people. I'm still just finding little bits here and there. It's like, oh, here's that other piece of conditioning that's coming up. Oh, here's this other piece. And now I have the tools and I have the understanding to be able to work through those quickly and comparatively easily. So I would say
I
it
love
has
that.
completely changed my life
I
in all
love
the
that. I
ways.
love what you said about um how what you were doing before was just regurgitating the conditioning that you already had. Like there's so much of our experience as humans, or so much of our experience when we, you were using like, you know, the like, what are all the numbers? Do you remember the numbers? If you're an
Then,
8 or you're like 6 or you're like
oh
a,
yeah, I don't
I
remember
don't
all of
remember.
those.
You're like all of the like different ways that we try to figure out who we are.
Yeah,
Our world is constantly reflecting back to us what we believe to be true. So
yes,
it's like when we're looking outside of our own energy frequency for the answers, you're just gonna get, it's like a magic 8 ball. You're just gonna get the answer like that, like you believe you deserve, like that you believe to be true. And so
exactly.
Enneagram, that's what it is.
Yes.
Enneagram and like the like Myers-Briggs, and like I did the same thing and mine changed so regular. I've been every single Enneagram member, all of them.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Enneagram
oh
was the one I
no.
didn't get into, but my Myers-Briggs, I think I had three or four different
Right,
answers over the years, and I was like, this can't be true. And then I did
right,
research on it. I was like, oh,
right, exactly. Well, and it can be so helpful. And then if you decondition and you change, then those things change. I remember getting a different Myers-Briggs at one point and being like, oh man, now I gotta change my whole career. Like I've got to like change it. But
right.
design really supports you in recognizing yourself. And if you're new to human design, we'd love to have you, right? And ask questions, ask Joy, ask me. Joy is an amazing reader. I'm sure of it. I've never had the chance to listen to any of your readings, but she's incredibly intuitive and very, very connected. And so I believe with my whole heart that she's an incredible reader. But when it comes to soul styling, we just did some soul styling. So you already had some recognition surrounding human design and like connection with that. And you and I had done some work together on that. And um, that was really supportive. When we did soul styling and we sat down, how did you like, what did you expect? And then what happened?
I honestly had no idea what to expect. I had seen a live with you talking about the soul styling, and my body is going through some changes as I'm on my own health journey. And I was realizing that I've never felt good in my clothes. That I was are beginning to have some thoughts bubble up from my old programming around you know, oh, you can't wear that because it shows your shoulders and your bra strap might show, or you can't show
Mhm.
your legs or your belly. I grew up super conservative. And so I really had no idea what to expect. But then I got the document that you sent me talking about my gene keys and including, things that I can search on Pinterest and, everything from the style to the textures to the scents. And that
Mhm.
helped bring in, all my senses, but it helped me to begin to open up my mind to these other possibilities. And as I was reading through it just the first time, I just kind of skimmed it. I was like, ooh, I've always liked that piece, or I've always loved that on other people. I just never thought that I would be able to wear these things. But like it felt I felt seen again in a way that I wasn't expecting, because it was like you had pulled out the archives of my brain like a Pinterest board from all these years of seeing everybody else but not feeling like I could wear those things. And so I was already beginning to see, ooh, okay, there is some soul there, that these are things that I've always resonated with. And so then when I was able to go back in and start to plug in some of those search terms into Pinterest, which was so helpful, I never would have found the stuff without that. I'd have just been like, um, I started seeing outfits that I had dreamed of. It was like having my own magazine of style things. And so then when we hopped on the session, we were able to talk about some of the programming and some of the thoughts. Like I felt like there was some fear. There was, around showing parts of my body that I'd never shown before. Even I mentioned to you about how I didn't like really long, flowy things because they get caught on everything. And you were like, that sounds like it's actually related to you feeling not worthy to take up space. And like that, in and just that piece has really been playing in my head. I'm like, oh, that's exactly it. And so I've been playing with taking up more space and wearing some more flowy things. And we talked through what to expect when I go to the thrift store, because that's what I can afford right now.
I
And
love thrifting. Don't. I mean, I love thrifting. I could probably be making $1 million a year. You're still gonna find me in the thrift store.
yeah,
I love it
well,
there.
I have some old trauma around the thrift stores. So for me, it was always
Sure, right. That
a
and
last
there's something there
resort.
too, right? Like conditioning
Mhm.
around the belief systems of, you know, I love a good used pair of shoes.
Right.
But, you know,
And so
so
like you held me through that fear and through that trepidation of going to the thrift store again because it was always one of the quickest ways for me to spiral. Was to try
hmm
to go and try to find something that would fit me, big boobs, big hips and butt, big arms, like,
hmm
I'm a big girl.
right.
And for the first time, I'm okay with that. But then being able to then go to the thrift store and find a half dozen pieces that really feel good, and then to be able to put them on and be like, ooh, here I am. I've been hiding under t-shirts and yoga pants because I worked from home. So why does it really matter? Just be comfortable. And now I'm like, ooh, here's my soul starting to come out. My outer is starting to match my inner. And I always used to think it was crap of like, put your face on and smile when you talk because it'll elevate your mood. But like, wearing these new clothes that fit well and that make me feel good. And they're even pushing the edge. Like some of these new tops don't quite meet my pants. And so like for me, that's pushing an edge. But it feels really good. And for the first time, I went to the thrift store and I let my intuition lead and I didn't spiral. When I found something that I liked but it didn't fit, I was like, no big deal. The thing didn't fit. It wasn't a failing of me. So this has been a fabulous experience of getting to play with my style, getting to feel into the things that I've always longed to wear, but never felt like it was okay for me. And so it feels like so much more freedom and liberation.
I love that. I love that. And you want to know what? Like, I think that what can be really, like you said, freeing is recognizing, and this is for me, this was my own like trauma around it, is that I had this perception of being like vapid, like being too much, like being like, oh, she only thinks about like her clothes, or she only thinks about like how she, looks or what she wears or whatever. And as I started doing this work, like with people, it was like, oh my gosh, it's really freeing to feel connected to yourself in a tangible way.
Yes.
Because when you're a healer, when you're a light work, when you're in this space, when you're a coach, you spend so much time connecting to yourself in intangible ways, right? Meditation,
Yep.
journaling, I guess, could be kind of tangible, but like in these ways that it's like very ephemeral, and like being able to grab something. It's too hot for it now, but I have this like wool, like long, like sweater, like open, like cardigan sweater. And I wear that thing like so often during the winter because it's one of the pieces that I love the way it looks. It looks good on everything. It feels good. And it's really deeply connected to that soul style that I have. And
Yeah.
so feeling good in your body and like connected to your energy is one thing, but then being able to express it outside of yourself is really impactful and powerful. And so now that you're doing that, how are you feeling like on a day-to-day basis, just like doing life? Are you feeling more connected to yourself?
Oh my gosh, yes. So much more connected to myself, my power, my magic. I feel more creative. Like I just feel more tapped in and turned on, you
I
know?
love. I love it. Like, and we get to shift that, right? Because I'm recognizing in myself that there are even days that, sure, I know I'm going to be working out later. So I put on workout clothes and, am comfortable, but I still am picking pieces that feel really good on. And so I'm
Yes,
connected to that. I feel good in that. And I feel like I'm like really with myself. And
yes,
it really has been super like the word freeing keeps happening, like coming up, but it's like reigniting. Like there's that
it
piece of
is.
you that when you were 12, you wouldn't have even thought about it. But like all the conditioning comes in and tells you what you
Right.
can and can't do and what you can wear. And no matter what size you are, whether you're a size 2 or size 22, like it's like you can still wear clothes that feel good on your body without hiding. And so I'm
Yes,
so excited. And I think this is what I love to do most is I love helping people feel good. Like I like sure, I as a coach does it feel good to hear like, well, you changed my life. It's like, yeah, like that's like I mean, that's the highest compliment I could receive. But to just hear like I feel good in my body, like that makes me really emotional. Like to feel like I, in some small way, helped you have a new perspective and shift something in such a way that you were able to reignite your soul and connect with it in a way that's tangible and is really changing things for you.
it really is. And it's a piece of my soul that was craving attention that I didn't know until I saw that video and I was like, ooh, let's do this. And then throughout this whole process, it's just been like my soul waking up. And I've even had a few people be like, "Oh my gosh, girl, you have style." And it's like because my finally my soul is coming out.
Love
Like the
that. I
core
love
of
that
who
so
I
much.
am is beginning to come out.
I love that so much. That's so exciting. Like that feels really like big because this is new. This is new for me, right? If you know me, I do a lot of like human design and Gene Keys work as well as just intuitive coaching, especially for women in transition, um, whatever that transition is. But this kind of hit me and was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna like go out there. I'm gonna try it and like see how people respond to it. And so far, everyone's really felt really empowered and shifted and very free from the prior conditioning surrounding what they can wear, what they should wear, or what they were just wearing on autopilot, which was my problem, right? I was just wearing clothes
Yes,
on autopilot. It's like I have to cover
right.
this bad boy up. So I'll just put something on, right? Like
Exactly.
I needed to be intentional. And so I'm really grateful. I'm grateful that you're feeling that way and that you were able to see such a huge shift.
It's truly been huge. I mean, yes, it's a culmination of a lot of the other work that I've done,
Right,
but
sure.
this is really huge because I've been doing so much work this past few years on my internal, like you said. And so
Hmm.
now to have that tangible, the external, be reflecting all the internal work I've done is it's powerful. And I'm so excited. I love it. I love putting on my new pieces. I
I
love
know.
washing them and hanging them out and looking at them and being like, "Ooh, I get to wear that again."
Yeah,
You
I
know?
love that. I love that so much. Like, um, all tech stuff aside, I don't think our video actually went live at all. I'm fairly certain it just like cut off at some. So, whatever. I'm gonna probably just take this video, cut off the beginning and ending, and then share it on YouTube.
That
Um,
works. I'm good with whatever.
thanks, thanks, Facebook. You've been real. You've been a real champ today. Um, but I'm just grateful. Thank you. So, if you had the chance to watch the interview with Joy and I, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being with me here on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you found this video. I didn't get a chance to actually like wrap up. We had so many tech things come through that just it felt like all at once. And so I just ended up having a conversation with Joy, just human to human at the end. And I just um, wanted to wrap up very intentionally by taking a moment and just thanking you for spending the time with us, first of all. Secondly, inviting you in because um, wow, the story that Joy shared it really struck me, and I you couldn't see because she was talking on Zoom. It shifts back and forth to the speaker, and I, as she was talking, really got teared up and really emotional because this work, um, it really means something very deeply to me to have the gift and the ability to see someone. I know that that maybe sounds simple, but for someone to sit in my presence and for me to be able to witness them in such a way that they're able to shift, to transition, to pivot, to embody at a deeper level, is not something that is small to me. And I am incredibly grateful for that gift. And so I want to extend that gift to you. If you'd like to know more about soul styling, please reach out to me, drop a comment, raise your hand in whatever way feels good to you. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and here on YouTube. But if you would like to get to know Joy better, please go follow her. She is on Substack and Facebook and Instagram as well. And you can find her hanging out as um, and I will put some links in the description so that you can find us very easily by clicking. But if you would like to know more about soul styling, please reach out to me. I am doing some specials right now just for new people, and with the caveat that you are willing to give me a testimonial about your experience. It can be a video, it can be written, it can be an interview style like this, whatever you're comfortable with. Afterwards, you will receive a discount code for doing a soul styling session with me. And so I'm very excited to have you in this space. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon.